Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, we'll go to the merger and acquisition, merger or consolidation first, and let's see. Yeah. When we talk about the mergers refers to the absorption of one firms by another. So A absorb B, A take over B, or A buy B to make a bigger A. So this is maybe the expansion. Yeah, the acquiring firm retain its name. Acquiring firm here is the A. They are retain its name and identity, everything. It acquires all of the assets and liabilities of the acquired firms. Okay, so when you are buying other company, at the same time you are buy the assets and the liability of that company. After the mergers, the acquired firm, here is the firm B, cease to exist. So there is no longer B on the market, yeah, as a separate entity. So cease to exist. When we talk about the consolidation, it is a little bit different. Uh, it is the same as merger, except that an entirely new firm is created. So you can see here an entirely new firm that is created. So here the both the A and B acquiring and acquired firm terminate their previous legal existence and become part of the new firm. You can see one of the example here is the PwC, yeah, Price Waterhouse and Cooper. They are consolidated and to make the PwC. Yeah, one of the case for a long time ago. Yeah, here we talk a little bit about the merger. A plus B become bigger A. The firm B's. Here we talk about the firm B's shareholders. What happened to them? They are given the share of the firm A's stock in exchange for share of firm B's stock if you are using the acquisition of stock. Or firm A issues new shares. So there is no cash here. Yeah, the firm A just issues new share and exchange the new share of the firm A to the existing shareholders of firm B. So after this, all of the shareholders of the firm B become the shareholder of the bigger A. So that is the important thing that you need to know. So we have more shareholders in the company. In the consolidation of A plus B becomes C, the shareholders of firm A and B exchange their shares for shares of new firm. So they are issues a new firm and exchange the old shares to make just exchange the document. Yeah, and A and B's shareholders still the shareholders of the new firm. Only the name is changed, and of course if the name is changed there is some voting right or there is some authority that is changed between the bigger A and C. Of course in the bigger A is bigger than is has a more right compared to the shareholders B. Maybe the shareholders B is given the share, but maybe they are not given the right. But in the consolidation, maybe it's the right and the number of shares going the same or in the proportion. There is some note here. You have to remember the stockholders of each firm must approve a merger in the consolidation. So in the consolidation, the stockholder of each firm must approve a merger. Typically 2/3. Yeah. So this is conventionally. Inconventionally, 2/3 of share owners must vote in favor for it to be approved of the consolidation or a merger. They have to agree that they will exchange with the new share or not. Yeah. So there is a meeting. Yeah, here we talk about the second form, acquisition of stock, and this is how this is formed. Acquirer purchase firm's voting stock in exchange for cash. So this is the first thing you can see here is the different. They acquire the firm. They for example, A acquire B, and all of the stock of the B will be acquired by cash. And there is no shareholders of B in the bigger A anymore. They are receiving the cash and they are selling the company completely. They are not own any right or any benefit from the bigger A anymore. So in the acquisition of stock, the voting stock will be exchanged for cash, share of stock, or other securities. The factors are involved in choosing between an acquisition of stock and a merger is here. See, in acquisition of stock, shareholders meetings need not to be held and vote is not required. Yeah, of course, because if you want to sell your shares, you just go to the market or you just go to the negotiation and sell your share to the shareholders of the firm A if you are a firm B. So there is no meeting. There is no need to make a 2/3 of the shareholders agree to merge with the other firm. You are only need to sell your share. The bidding firm can deal directly. Bidding here is the acquirer. The acquirer can deal directly with the shareholders of a target firms because there is no meeting is needed via tender offer. So they can go to the big shareholders of the firm B and they make some offer, and of course they can bypass the target firm's management and board of director of the B. Yeah, no meeting. Target managers often resist acquisition because in this kind of acquisition, most of the time the managers will lose their job or lose their position. Even that can have a new position in the new firm, but the right maybe cease to exist, yeah, or the compensation is not good enough, or maybe they will lose the job. So the most of the time the managers often resist this kind of acquisition. They try to prevent this kind of acquisition. Frequently, a minority shareholders will hold out in a tender offer. Yeah, you know that when you buy a firm, when you buy enough number of voting right, you can stop and you can control the firms. So you do not need to buy all 100% of the firms to control the company. You only need enough enough voting right to control. So most of the time, minority shareholders will hold out in the tender offer. They are not uh, received the offer to sell the share. So they are still the shareholders of a new firm. Okay. Thus, the target firm cannot be completely absorbed. Yeah, of course. Yeah, this is the conventional. Conventionally, 100% is not really always the case. So the last form of the acquisition is by acquisition of assets. So instead of buy the shares, you can buy the assets of all the company, and you can control all the companies the operation. So one firm acquire another by buying all of its assets. This is often in the case of bankruptcy or in the case of hardship of a company. They have to sell their assets because they have no bargaining power to sell their shares. So they have to selling their assets. This is most of the time the value is lower, much lower than the buying by the stock because they are losing their power. Yeah, okay. A formal vote of the target stockholder is required, of course. So here, here we one more time we see that we need a vote of the target shareholders. So we have three forms. The first one, the merger, and the third one, the acquisition of assets, require meeting, require vote to accept to sell your company. Okay. And here we go to some classification of the acquisition. We have three kinds: horizontal, vertical, and conglomerate. This is a little bit different between these three kinds. The first one, horizontal acquisition, is the situation that both the acquirer and the acquired firm are in the same industry. So they are expanding the business. They are expanding a new market, for example, and they are not do all the business from zero. They just buy a company that is already in that market. So here is the both the acquirer and acquired firm is in the same industry. They're expanding. For the second one is the vertical. Vertical is a little bit different because you know that in an industry we see the change value. Like we have a manufacturer for the first, and sometimes we have the distribution and wholesales and retail, yeah, for example, and to the end user. So there is many steps from the manufacturing to the user. So in vertical, they may acquire the manufacturing may acquire a distribution, or a distribution wholesale distribution acquire a retail. So this is maybe this is we call the vertical acquisition. Tức là gọi là gì nhỉ? Sát nhập theo chiều dọc ấy, đúng không? Còn cái này là sát nhập theo chiều ngang này. Đúng không? Đấy là gọi là dịch ra tiếng Việt. Involves firms at different step of the production process. Yeah, as I have give you an example. Here is one example. Cable operator Comcast acquisition of television network of NBC. So one cable is the infrastructure company. They are buying the service company, the television network NBC Universal in 2010. Or another example that Oracle purchased Sun Microsystem. So the Oracle moved from its primarily software business. The first day, Oracle is only the software company, but now they are by the Sun Micro, so they have some hardware to deploy their software. So this is may be called the vertical acquisition. Yeah. The last one, we talk about the conglomerate acquisition. This is also an expanding, but expand in a new industry. The acquiring firm and the acquired firm are not related to each other. So one firm A is maybe in the industry A, yeah, and firm B in the industry B. That is not related, or related, a little bit related, and they are expanding. They are diversify their investment, and they are acquire each other, or they are merged. So we have three kind of acquisition here. Okay, and each of these one have some strategic purpose. Yeah, this is the purpose. You can see this is the most of the time this is the purpose of an acquisition and merger. Most of the time, with a merger or an acquisition, you can think about that is an investment. You buy something new, yeah, of course, you invest in something new, and that is the investment. And in an investment, you always think about the NPV, the benefit you will receive in the future, and we call it in the acquisition and merger is the synergy. Yeah, so this is the purpose of all of the firm in M&A deal. So what is the synergy? The definition is very simple. The synergy or the benefit is the difference between the value of the combined firm, so the new firm, and the sum of the values of the firm as separate. So if you are combine A and B to become C, the value of the difference between the value of the C and the value of A plus value of B will be the purpose, the synergy or the benefit. So if the value of the C is higher than this, the synergy is positive, and of course the NPV is positive. The NPV of the whole deal is positive, or the NPV here is the NPV of the acquirer. So the synergy is this is the definition of the synergy. So it can go to the calculation like this. The synergy is equal to the value of the new company minus the value of the separate value of the company before the acquisition. So the synergy here is the benefit of this whole merger and acquisition. So of course, because each shareholders will have some purpose. The A, they are acquiring B for some purpose, and B, they are selling their own company for some purpose. And of course, each of these people will think about the NPV before going to the merger and acquisition. The synergy is the benefit of the both of these two company A and B. So of course they will share the synergy in this M&A deal. So you see that, of course, this will be shared. So we will calculate like this. How they are shared here. Okay, we will go to the how they are shared first. Sorry, moment, please. Yeah, we go to the NPV of the merger first, and by giving you the example, we will see how the synergy will be shared. So when A acquire B by cash, you will see that the premium is the benefit go to the shareholders of B. It is equal to the amount of cash minus the value of the B. So if your company is value of your company is 10 million, and they are offer you that they will pay you 12 million. So you can see that at that time you will have a profit or the benefit of 2 million. Sorry. One moment please. Bà ơi cho mưa ra hộ con cái. Ngoài gọi thêm. Okay, sorry. Um, Let me continue. Yeah, here you can see that if you are a B, a company B, you will see we have a benefit of 2 millions. And of course, this benefit is go from the synergy. That is the company A expected to receive in the future. So you can see here the benefit that is left for the company A is the synergies minus the premium. Yeah. When buying the company B, the company A think about that in the future they will get some synergy. Synergy is the benefit from a bigger company, but they have to pay. They have to share some premium to the company B at the first day. So here you can see that the synergy is shared between these two. Synergy will be shared between these two. One is the premium for the B, and the other is the NPV for the A. Okay. Sorry, a moment. Yeah, I have a call to take. Hello. Okay. So we can do this example. Value A 1000, value B 500, A acquire B for 600. So you can see that here is a premium of 100 to go to B. So premium equal to 600 minus the 500 equal to 100. And the synergy here is 300. So the NPV, this is will go to A, and the premium go to B. NPV of A is equal to 300 minus the 100. So you can see that 300 of synergy will be shared between A and B. 100 for B and 200 for A. Yeah. So if we use the cash offer, it is easy to understand. Yeah, easy to understand. But here we go to the stock offer. This is a little bit different because there is no cash. you can see that if there is no cash, A acquire B by exchange of stock. So A have to issue some share to exchange for B. And here we assume that they are issues the company A issues X shares for each share of B. So number of new share. Here is the number of new share. Is the X multiplied by the number of share of B. So here is the number of new share. That is the company A have to issues. Okay. And because this is the number of new share, and these shares will go to the shareholders B, so this is the proportion of the ownership of shareholders B in a new company. In a new company, this is the number of share. Currently, they have NA as the number of share, and after that, they have to issue this amount of new share, this number of new share. So this is the total share in a new company, and this is owned by these shareholders. So this is the proportion of the ownership of the B's shareholders in a new firm. So you can see that this is the benefit that the B's shareholders will be owned in the future. Okay, so the premium. The premium is just the value they are received for this deal. In this deal, the alpha here is the proportion of the ownership, and the alpha multiplied by the value of the new firm will be the value go to the company B or the B's shareholders. So this is all the value. This is equivalent to the 600 of the previous example. In the previous example, we pay 600 for 500 company. And now we pay this. We pay the ownership. And we can calculate the value by multiplying the proportion of the ownership with the value of the company in the future. Okay, but this is just okay. This is must be the present value of the company in the future. Yeah. So this is the value they will receive minus the value of the current value of the company B. And of course, this will be the premium. And one more time, the NPV will equal to the synergies minus the premium as normal. Yeah, as previous. Because the synergy just share between these two. Yeah. Tiền không thể chuyển đi đâu hết đúng không? Tiền không tự sinh sinh ra, nó chỉ chuyển từ người này sang người khác, share thôi đúng không? Okay. So we can have some example here to do. Yeah. Let's do the reading first. We have the value of company A here, value of company B here. Yeah, still same as our previous example. This is the number of share in the company A and number of share in the company B. This is the X. So we have to issue 1.6 shares for each share of the company B to exchange. So the number of new share we have to issue equal to 1.6 multiplied by the number of share of the acquired firm equal to this. Okay, how much? 1.6 400. Okay. So now the total number of shares will be equal to 1,000 plus 400. So 1,400 will be the total shares of the new firm. Okay. Yeah, we need to calculate the alpha, the proportion of the ownership. So the alpha here is equal to 400 new share over the total share. Okay. And of course, the value, the value go to the company B here will be equal to this alpha. Let me 400. 2857. Okay. Okay. So the value go to the company B will be equal to alpha multiplied by the value of the company C. Okay, let me do this in a big space. Yeah, this is a little bit too small to see. One moment, please. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let me do this all over again. We have to find out the number of new share. So we have the new issues of 1.6 multiplied by this amount 400. Alpha is equal to 400 over 1000 plus the new one by high. Okay. And the premium, we have to calculate the value of the company C first. The value of company C is equal to value of value A plus value B and plus synergy. So it is equal to how much? 1000 plus 500 plus the synergy is 300, $1,800. So the premium go to company B, B's shareholders is equal to alpha multiplied by the value of the company C minus the current value of the company B of 500. This is equal to 14.26. Yeah, much lower. Yeah, much lower than the 100. And of course, because this is lower than the 100, so the NPV must be higher. Because we only share the synergy between these two. So the NPV go to A is equal to 300 of synergy, and we share this amount. And we left with, here is 285.74. Okay. Yeah. So this is the example of the acquisition by stock. But sometimes the deal is different. The deal is the mix of the exchange stock and cash. And there must be some difference here. So I give you some times to do the a new offer. So if I give you an example, that's this. Yeah, I give you one more example. Uh, company A, value of company A 1,000. Value of company B 500 still. Synergy 300. Okay. Now this is the offer. We will offer 1. So X will be equal to 1. So each new share, for each share of the B shareholders will be exchanged by 1 new share of the new firm. So X will be equal to 1. And plus, how much? For example, here, $1 in cash for each share. So here, for each share of B, you will receive 2 parts, 1 new share and $1. Okay. So I give you some time to do this, and you are still required to calculate the premium. How much will be the premium? How much will be the NPV with this kind of deal? Yeah, I give you about 10 minutes. Yeah, I think 10 minutes is good enough. Yeah, the time is start now. So we will get back. I will get back to you at 10:18. Okay, let's do this. you have the result? How much will be the premium and how much will be the NPV? Hello? Hello, is there anyone can do this? Hello, any idea? If you are a shareholders of company B, how much you will receive? Okay, let me do this for you because this is a simple level in the M&A topic. So you should um, you should yeah, I think in the exam mm, in the exam every year we have this kind of problems in the final exam, but the percentage of the of doing right this kind of question is at a very low level. And I see that this is a very simple one. So I need you to think it is simple and do this and skillful in this kind of problems because we have many other kind of problems that is more complex. And this is the easy mark for you in the exam. So you should try to do this. Um, Here, if you are a B, because we talk about the premium first, if you are a shareholders a B, you how much will receive? First, $1 for each. So $1 for 225. Sorry, here the number of shares is still 1,000 and number of share of B is still to 250. So shareholders B will receive 250. Okay, plus one new share for each existing share. So they will receive 250 share, and the number of new share, the total share in the new company will be equal to 1,000 plus 250, and the value they will receive as a shareholders of a new company is equal to this proportion multiplied by the value of company C. But the problems here is that how much will be the value of the company C? So to calculate the value of the company C, it will be equal to A plus B plus synergy. But we pay out some money here. So minus 250. So that will be the value of the company C here, the new company. So it will be equal to 1,550. Okay, 1,550. Okay, so this is all of the value the company B shareholders will be received. And of course, when we have the value, we can calculate the premium by minus the current values and you get to the premium. And of course, the NPV is easier. Synergy minus the premium. That's it. Okay. So whatever the result, we know how to deal with it, and we know how to deal with this kind of question. So there is only three kind of question: cash only, stock only, or shares only, and mix of cash and stock. Yeah. So we have only three kind of calculation in M&A example or M&A problems. So don't worry much about more other things. Yeah, this is all we have to understand or have to practice in terms of calculation. Okay. So let's move to the previous part, acquisition of stock. Yeah, we will talk something about the source of synergies. So there must be some reason why there is some synergy in a M&A deal. So in M&A deal, there is four source of synergies can come. The first maybe from the revenue enhancement. This is just the expansion. Yeah, when you expand your business, of course the revenues will go up. So there is some benefit from revenue enhancement. The other thing is maybe the cost reduction. There is some, maybe there is some cost reduction in some part of the business. Maybe we need a two distributor. First time we need the one distributor for A, one distributor for B. But after that, after the merger become to C, we may need only one distributor, and maybe it will reduce many kind of costs in the distribution cost. Or we can have lower taxes. Lower taxes in some terms, in some situation is that B may be in a lower bracket, tax brackets. So you can use some transfer pricing to transfer the profit from A to B. Okay, so there is some techniques to do it, and we can have the lower tax. Or sometimes A now is at high profit and at a high bracket, tax bracket, but B is a loss company. And after we merge two company, maybe the loss here will absorb the profit here. So at the same times, we will pay lower tax. Yeah, that is for some of the example. Or lower capital requirement. Yeah, sometimes we only have to invest in one facility instead of two facility. So we will go to more detail in each of these things. And in more detail, you only see some example. Here, revenue enhancement, yeah, sometimes it is a strategic benefits. Maybe it is strategic merger is the example of the strategic merger is something like one company buy other company of in another market. So they can expand to that market immediately and without competition. So maybe that is the strategic merger. Or something about the market or monopoly power. Yeah, this is the same thing. You are reduce the competition. Yeah, reduce competition. Previously, we are the competitors, but after the mergers, we are one company. So we do not need to incur some cost to compete between us. Or source of synergy is go from the cost reduction. Maybe it's from economy of scale. Yeah, economy of scale, we get this kind of benefit when we produce at a high level of production. Yeah, so we can get the economy of scale. Or the cost reduction is go from elimination of inefficient management. So instead of two board of management, we have one board of management, maybe with more number of managers, but in total it may be less. For example, we need five people in bottom management in A and 7 in B, but after the merger we may only need 10 in total. So here is 12 and here is 10. So we can elimination of some inefficient management or some level of management. Technology transfer. This is something like strategic. Yeah, we need some technology, but we do not have enough time or enough money to do the R&D, so we can buy the company already has the technology. Or sometimes they are already register the patent to the patent. So if we need that patent for our product, we can buy that company to get that kind of patent. So sometimes the synergy is go from the patent ownership. Yeah. Or the other example from the cost reduction is complementary resources. This is the example. Improve usage of existing resources like office, warehouse, or machine. Yeah, so we can use a we do not need to invest more in in office. We can have one headquarter, one building for all of the new company, or the warehouse where we can reduce some costs in terms of warehouse. Yeah, that is the more economy. Okay, about the tax gain, we have already talked about this. Tax losses, a profitable division and merge with an unprofitable one. So maybe at the end of the day, the taxable income will be lower. The use of unused debt capacity. This is very important. Maybe our gearing is at optimum level or at the optimum level in the perspective of the bank. They will require a very high interest um, if we want to borrow more. So we cannot borrow more debt at lower cost. So now we can merge high proportion equity firms, yes, to increase our debt capacity. So we can uh, increase our loan with the bank without increasing the cost of debt. Yeah. Or the use of surplus fund. Yeah. We maybe one company has many things to invest and the other companies has nothing to invest. So the other one maybe they have a small cash or small fund, but the shareholders of B is very rich and they have many much cash you can use. So you can use a surplus fund of B by acquiring. Yeah, and this maybe this situation may exist when you use the acquisition of stock. Yeah, you just merge two company and you just merge the stock, merge all of the fund. Okay. Next, we can have some sorts of synergies from reduced capital requirement. One of the example is we can reduce the duplicate facilities. Yeah, instead of two buildings, we can sit all in one building, or we can consolidate the R&D department. Yeah, instead of two labs, we can use one labs for all of the operation. Yeah. Okay. So that's it for the sorts of synergy, and we have already go through this. Okay, all of these things already go through this. Yeah, I have two questions for you here. When do you use cash and when do you use stock? Yeah, that is the question. That is the problem, because if you are a manager, you have to decide we use cash or not, we use stock or not. So when? What is the situation? Is there any idea? When you buy something by cash?
Mua bằng cash để mà lấy luôn quyền quyết định về công ty đấy luôn.
Yeah. Một ý kiến. Yeah, idea is the ownership. Is there anything else? Use cash when the value of economy is low.
Hoặc là sử dụng stock khi không có tiền.
Sử dụng stock khi không có tiền. Okay, not enough cash. Okay. Có bạn Tặng Tuấn Hưng nói rằng là we use cash when the value of company B is low. Not really. Yeah, even that is low, it is money. Đúng không? Even là nó thấp thì nó cũng là tiền, và hơn nữa là nếu mà nó rẻ, nó cheap, thì chưa chắc là cái value nó mang lại đã có ý nghĩa. Cho nên là một cái investment là 10 triệu hay là 100 triệu thì mình không tính đến cái việc là nó là 10 thì nhỏ hơn 100 triệu. Và vấn đề là luôn luôn là mình tính đến là câu chuyện là interest mà mình có thể nhận được trong cái investment đấy. Cho nên là chúng ta không bao giờ so sánh một cái con số là cái này là invest là 10 vào đấy là 10 triệu hay mình invest vào đấy 100 triệu, gần như không bao giờ mình so sánh như thế, nhưng mình lại so sánh là percentage will receive in investment, tức là rate of return. And most of the time we talk about the rate of return. Đó. Cho nên là nói là lâu thì thực ra thì cũng có những lúc nó rẻ thì người ta mua luôn. Tất nhiên nó lâu ở đây là ý nghĩa là cheap. Cheap là compare with the benefit we will receive. Đấy. Thế nhưng mà cũng không có nghĩa là đấy là gọi là ultimate. Nó là một cái reason mà nó đủ, cũng gọi là đủ mạnh để nói đến. Anything else? Các bạn nào nghĩ ra một lý do khác không?
Dùng cash để mà trả ít dividend cho bọn firm B hơn.
Dividend nào cơ? Ở đây làm gì có dividend nhỉ?
À thế thì thôi.
Think about the future. Yeah. In each decision, we need to think about the future. Here is think about the future. Ownership in the future. Cash is the current situation. If you think about the future, think about the risk or the expectation of your M&A. If you are an acquirer A and you are trying to buy B, what is your expect? All of the NPV will go from synergy. Do you see? All of the NPV A will receive in the future is from synergy. But synergy is from the future. It's not now. But for B, they are giving the premium now if they are giving the cash. So that is the difference. Synergy is in the future. That is not really certain. Synergy is not certain. So if you are use cash, when you use cash, the premium go to B is certain, but the synergy go to A is not certain. But if you are still try to use cash to give the shareholders B a certain amount, they have to very optimistic about the future. They have to be very confident about the synergy. Do you think so? Đúng không? Khi mà người ta dùng cash có nghĩa là người ta rất chắc chắn về cái việc là người ta có thể nhận được synergy một cái amount trong tương lai. Bởi vì nếu như người ta không chắc chắn ấy, thì người ta có thể là sẽ rất là lỗ, bởi vì là người ta đưa một cái khoản tiền cho B already là bay rồi. Nó certain rồi. B thì là rất an toàn rồi. So you see that if you use cash, that is very safety for B, but not very safe for A because synergy is in the future. So if A still use cash, they have very confident about the future. So when you're confident about the future, so the signal is very good when you use cash. Các bạn có thấy đây là một cái trường hợp rất giống như là trường hợp về fixed và variable interest không? Khi mà dùng cash thì B là chỉ được nhận fixed interest thôi, tức là cái khoản premium. Interest ở đây tôi đang nói về benefit, fixed benefit, tức là cái khoản premium là in cash. Được chưa? Thế nhưng mà đối với A thì cái khoản mà mình nhận được ấy, nó lại variable. Bởi vì là mình không biết là synergy mình có được như là mình mong đợi hiện giờ hay không. Đấy, thì cái này nó cũng là một cái câu chuyện giống như hệt như dùng leverage. It's the same way of thinking when we think about the leverage. When we use debt, we only need to pay fixed interest to the debtor, but we can receive profit, and the profit is uncertain. And if our expectation is very good in the future, we will use leverage to magnify our return on equity. So this will be the good signal to the market. So when we confident about the future. But when we do not confident about the future, there is very risky in this new market. We will use stock to share the risk. You see here, if you use stock, you share some risk to the shareholders of B because B is still in our company. So they will share the synergy after this. You see, if you use stock, the B's value will related or will affected by the value of the company C. But the value of the company C is affected by the synergy, and the synergy is uncertain. And now B is giving some percentage in the company C, so the uncertain will be shared between A and B. for this situation. So now here is the bad signal to the market. And of course, you are not very confident about the future. You want to share some risk to the shareholders. Yeah. So here is the two things I need you to remember about the merger and acquisition. This is the most important purpose, most important reason when you try to use cash or stock. Okay. Do we understand? Use cash to eliminate the opponents. Use stock to expand the company. Uh, yeah, that is the about this ownership. Tôi đang đọc cái câu trả lời của bạn Trần Thị Dương. Bạn nói rằng là khi mà sử dụng cash thì sẽ eliminate cái competitor, tất nhiên rồi. Thì đang nói về cái ý ownership bây giờ. Đúng không? Và use stocks to expand Không, thực ra expand thì cả hai đều là để expand hết. Nhá. Cái ý trước thì đúng. Use cash để eliminate thì bạn Toàn đã nói ở đây rồi, ownership bây giờ. Đấy. Còn ý thứ sau thì không hợp lý lắm, bởi vì là cả hai cách cứ merger thì đã là expand rồi. Ok, cả lớp có thắc mắc gì nữa về cái vấn đề này không? Is there any other question about this? Okay, so if we do not have any other question, we can move. Okay, this is we talk something about the accounting and acquisition. Of course, this is a simple example. Because why this is simple? Because here is A by B, and in the capital structure of B there is no debt, so it can be said that it is simple. Because when there is debt, we only buy when we buy B, we have to buy also the liability of the B. So we have some more liability. So, okay, so all the value go to the firm A is the net value, net assets value of the firm B. That is not really simple like this, but we only talk just a simple level, at the simple level in accounting. So we do not need to do the complex example. And here is the example. Firm A, here is the balance sheet of the firm A, and here is the balance sheet of firm B. And firm A issues $19 million bond to acquire B by cash. So at the time they are issues 19 million bonds, the balance sheet of the A will be, yeah, I will change to the note. Okay, this is the note for this example. Yeah, this is example. And this is the balance sheet. So at the time, oh, sorry. At the time the firm A issues $19 million bond. The balance sheet of the A will like this, cash, 19 million cash. So in total, we have $23 million in cash. 23, yeah. Land still the same, 16. Building still 0. And total will go up to 39. And of course, in the capital structure, equity is 20, debt 19. And now we use 19 million of cash to buy the firm B. So when you buy something and you treat it, record it in the balance sheet, you have to record the fair value. Yeah, the fair value of the assets. So the new firm, the firm C, will have the balance sheet like this. Cash, because we use the 19 million, so we have a outflow of 19 million. So we still come up at cash of 4. We buy all of the firm 4 plus 2 million. Yeah. Okay, so we have cash of 6. The land, for the land, because we buy all of the firm B, so the land here is 16 plus the 0, because B is, there is no land for B. The fair value of the cash of 2 million is still 2 million. Yeah, no doubt. Building. The first time we do not have any. but we buy this building. But the fair market of the building of firm B is 14. So we have to record 14 here. Yeah, this building, but now it is 14. And we have a total. So how much will be the total here? Should be the total. At the first time, we have 39. We have an outflow of 19. And we record the value of the firm B's asset is equal to 2 in cash, 14 in building. So this must be the total value. Yeah. Yeah. So there is some unbalance here, huh? This is 6 here, 16 here, 14 here. So this is the 36. And this is equal to how much? Bao nhiêu đây? 20, 14 là 34, đây là 36. Đúng không? Cái này phải bằng 36. Và cái trên này, vừa đúng rồi này. Phải có cái gì đấy chứ? Hay mình nhầm ở đâu? 16. Đúng rồi, 36. Building. Mua cash, mua land, mua building. Từ từ nhá, tôi xem tôi có thiếu cái gì không nha. Đây là bài giải 39 à? Từ từ nhá, mình issue 19 này. Đây là 39 rồi này, already là 39 rồi này. Đúng là nó phải là 39 bởi vì equity của mình vẫn là 20 và debt của mình là 19. Mình mua cái công ty kia mất 19 đồng. Các bạn nào nhìn ra sai chỗ nào? Cash là 6, 14. Đúng rồi, nó phải là 39 chứ, sorry. Đúng rồi. Sorry, chỗ này nó phải là 39 là đúng rồi. Đúng không? Chỗ này là 39 là nghiễm nhiên rồi đúng không? Còn cái bên này là mình tính toán là gì? This is the our total assets. This is the outflow. This is the treatment of a new asset. So this is only 36. So we still have 3 here and we call it goodwill. Đấy, được chưa? Cái này là tôi nhầm ở chỗ này là đúng rồi. Đấy. Yeah. It should be 39. Yeah, because we use the 19 million of cash to exchange for some cash, for some assets. So it must be still 39. So what is the goodwill here? Goodwill is something like the synergy. We think about the future. Here is the current value. For the current value, we buy the firm B, so we have the cash, 2 more million in cash, and the fair value of the building is 14. And here the total of the assets we buy for now is 2 million in cash and 14, 2 million in cash here and 14 for the building. So it is equal to 16, but we pay 19. So we pay 3 million more. So it's something, some kind, goodwill is some kind of the same thing about the same thing compared to the synergy. So we think that in the future we can have this synergy in the future. So we agree to pay more. Okay, so this is the new balance sheet of the firm C or firm AB. So they are defined. The goodwill is the proportion, a portion of the purchase price that is higher than the sum of the net fair value. This is very important. We use the net fair value. So if there is some debt of the company B, we have to subtract the liability of the firm B. So khi mà bạn mua một công ty thì nghiễm nhiên là bạn sẽ thành con nợ của cái công ty đó. Ví dụ như công ty B mà đang nợ một cái người khác 10 triệu thì khi bạn mua lại công ty B thì vô hình chung là bạn đang nợ một cái người khác nữa thêm 10 triệu nữa. Cho nên là người ta mới sử dụng chữ net ở đây là vì như thế. Yeah. They use the net because we buy the assets but at net value. Yeah. Được chưa? Không bao giờ có cái chuyện là bạn mua mà cái nợ đấy bạn không phải chịu. Bạn đã mua công ty thì bạn phải chịu cả nợ. Thế cho nên người ta sử dụng chữ net ở đây. Net ở đây rất quan trọng. Trong bài này thì không nhìn thấy được net bởi vì net thì nó vẫn là equity của họ là equity tất. Cho nên là in net thì chúng ta sẽ không phải trừ đi một cái fair value nào. Nhưng mà nếu mà trong trường hợp mà ở đây người ta có debt thì cái net value mà mình nhận được ấy là nó sẽ thấp hơn là 16 ở đây. Nếu mà người ta đang nợ ở trong cái này là ví dụ equity là 8 chẳng hạn và debt là 2 chẳng hạn thì cái net mà mình nhận được ở đây ấy, nó không phải là 14 mà nó sẽ chỉ là nó không phải là 16 mà nó sẽ chỉ là 14 thôi. Đấy, và như vậy là goodwill nó còn cao hơn. Được chưa? Và mình còn phải du nhập thêm cái 2 triệu này vào. Đấy. Thì cái việc đấy là cái việc khó của accounting thì mình không bàn ở đây, đúng không? Nhưng mà mình chỉ bàn ở đây là cái việc là khi mà mình merge thì có một cái thành phần mà nó tạo thêm ra ở trong cái balance sheet, đấy chính là goodwill. Đấy, và cái thành phần này nó là intangible assets. The goodwill is intangible assets. Đó. So we have đây nhá, nhìn nhá. Each year the firms must assess the value of goodwill. So every year we have to assess the value of the goodwill. If the value goes down, the goodwill must be decreased accordingly. So we have to write down our assets. So the goodwill is something like nó không có thật, đúng không? Mình chỉ là tưởng tượng và mình expect là nó sẽ có cái giá trị đấy trong tương lai. Đấy. Trên về mặt balance sheet thì nó sẽ được ghi là goodwill. Mình mua một cái tài sản mà còn lớn hơn cái giá trị thị trường của nó thì tất nhiên mình không bao giờ được ghi là hẳn mình không được ghi cái building đấy là 17 ở đây. Mà mình chỉ được ghi đúng cái fair value thôi, đấy là nguyên tắc của kế toán. Và cái phần thừa ra đấy thì người ta gọi đấy là goodwill. Và người ta phải test for impairment of the goodwill every year. Đấy, bởi vì là có thực tế là cái giá trị của cái giao dịch đấy là nó phải được 3 triệu là goodwill hay không, hay cuối cùng là cái value của công ty ấy được mang lại nó không được đạt như thế thì mình sẽ phải write down dần cái goodwill này xuống. Đấy. Thì đấy là cái câu chuyện của accounting. Accounting thì các bạn biết rồi đấy, tất cả những cái gì mà ghi trên balance sheet thì đều phải fair. Nếu mà nó không chính xác là chúng ta sẽ phải write down. Even inventory, đúng không? Even inventory we have some provision for the inventory. Tức là gọi là gì? Ghi một cái gọi là dự phòng giảm giá hàng tồn kho. In the case that the value of the inventory is going down, we have to book some provision at the negative value to the balance sheet, because if it is real when we sell our inventory to the customer at a very lower price, we will not receive tức là we have some loss from the inventory. Đấy, tức là chúng ta riêng về kế toán là cực kỳ phải thận trọng và phải là fair. Đấy, thì đấy là câu chuyện của kế toán, chúng ta sẽ không bàn quá nhiều ở đây. Nhưng in terms of financial thì goodwill là một intangible assets, và conventionally financial analysts often ignore the goodwill in the balance sheet because it has no cash flow consequences. It means that if you invest in goodwill, there is no more cash flow will be generated when you invest in goodwill. When you invest in building, there is some cash flow. When you invest in cash or invest in land, there is more cash flow. You will receive from that investment. But if you invest in goodwill, the expectation is that has no cash flow consequences. So in terms of finance, the financial analysts often ignore the goodwill. So goodwill is not really good. Okay, that is all for the merger and acquisition merger. So now we go to the other topic about the going private. We are now a public company and we want to go private. If you one example on the market is the Dell company. The Dell company, they are going private I don't remember exactly, but for 5 or 7 years before the Dell company go from public to private, because they have some hardship in the operation and they want to try to focus on the business, and they do not want to list list the stock on the market because that is affect very much on the operation of the company. So they are going private. So going private is that a publicly traded firm goes private when a private group purchases its stock. So the number of shareholder is lower. The definition of a public company is just about the number of shareholders. Maybe that is will be in a regulation. For example, for if your company has more than 50 shareholders, you will be a public company. Yeah, something like that. Tức là trong luật thì nó sẽ có quy định là như thế nào là public company, thì mà nó chỉ phụ thuộc, hầu hết là chỉ phụ thuộc vào số lượng shareholders thôi. Vì vậy, when because so when a private groups, so a small number of shareholders buy the stock, buy the stock from all of these shareholders from the market, the company will go from the public company go to private, and of course they will delist, because if you want to list it on the exchange, you have to be a public company. That is the going private. And there is often going private are frequently using the leverage buyout techniques. Leverage buyout, you can see here, is leverage. So they can use, most of the time they use debt. They use debt to buy the equity capital. So to going private. To go private, they have to buy the share. So in the leverage buyout, they use the debt to buy share. They are financed with large amount. Leverage buyout, large amount. Equity capital is supplied by small groups of investors. Now, because that is the small group of investors, they are a private company. Yeah. That is how to go from public to private. Okay. Let's move. Okay. Is that, yeah. Yeah. So there is some reason for the synergy of going private. Yeah, there must be some benefit when they are do something. The extra debts provide tax deduction. Of course, you know that the higher the debt, the higher the interest. So the higher the tax shield from using the interest. So the LBO may simply increase the firm's debt to its optimum level. And going private increase efficiency in these two situations. Managers become owners. Now, conventionally, the managers will become the owner of the company when using the leverage buyouts. So they have more incentive to work hard because now the agency problem is solved. All other reason is that the high level of debt force the management to make changes. Yeah, because they are now has a more proportion in debt, so they have to do harder to make the company better. So the revenue increase or the cost reduction, that is, they have to do these two. Yeah, they have to try to increase the revenue or reduce the cost. Yeah, to make more profit. Okay, that is the reason. That is the purpose of the going private. Yeah, that is all about the going private. We only talk something about the theory. In theory, we do not need to calculate anything about the leverage buyout. So that is good. In the M&A, in this lecture, the only calculation is about the merger and acquisition, that with the three examples that we have already talked about. And now we talk about the invert, the positive, the invert way, the invert way of the merger and acquisition. In the merger and acquisition, we merge two company, and here we split our company, and we call it divestiture. The first form of divestiture is sales. The sales is simple, that we sell our division, or we sell one of our business. We sell part of our company, segment or set of assets to another company. So we split or we separate. We divide our company into some division, and we sell some of the division. The buyer generally pay in cash in the sales deal. Reason for sales, simple: improve corporate focus. We do not want to invest or we do not need to want to diversify our investment in many kind of business operation. So here we focus in some of our core value. So we sell our some business unit that is not really focused in our core value. So improve the focus, or provide cash for liquidity. Sometimes we need cash and we sell something. So when you need cash, you sell your assets. This is the situation. Firms may simply want to sell unprofitable division. Yeah, one of the reason is that we do not need this anymore because that is unprofitable division, or we do not have enough time to make it profitable, so we sell it. Yeah, if we improve our focus. That is the sales divestiture. The other kind is spin-off. Spin-off, we still split or we still divide our company and we sell that business unit. But how to do it? Turns a division into separate entity and distributes shares in this entity to the parents stockholders. So it's like we separate, we divide the groups into companies. Tức là chúng ta sẽ chia một cái công ty lớn thành nhiều công ty nhỏ. This is the situation of the alphabet company. Ngày xưa Google là rất to đúng không? Sau đó nó thành lập một cái công ty to hơn Alphabet và nó chia nhiều cái mảng của Google nhỏ nhỏ ra. Có YouTube, có Google gọi là search, đúng không? Còn và vân vân các thứ khác nữa. Đấy, thì đây thì cũng như là một dạng spin-off thôi, tức là chia nhỏ ra để quản trị. Thì each of the companies here will have their own managers, so they can focus more. Okay, and in this kind of divestiture, there is no cash involved. Parent firms receive no cash; they just receive a new share with a new share with a new value. Maybe one share. Previously, we have one share of $10. Now we have two share. One is 8 and one is 2. Yeah, that is how we use the spin-off. So the initial stockholders of the spun-off division are the same as the parent stockholders. Now we have more companies in a groups. The reason for spin-off is the same: increase the focus, because we will have to hire more managers for each of the companies that is spun-off division. Better information transparency. Được chưa? Đúng không? We have many more small company and they have to make profit by their own, so it must be more transparency. Or we have some tax consequences from a spin-off are generally better than from a sales. Here this is compare with the sales divestiture. Here with the spin-off, the tax consequences from a spin-off is better than from a sales because they're receiving no cash, so there is no tax. Yeah, the tax, they are all most of the time tax is based on the cash you received, so they are most of the time they're based on the cash flow. So this is better compared with the sales. Okay, and the last one of the divestiture is carve out. So the carve out is a little bit different with the spin-off. They are turns a division into separate entity, still the same, but they are sell shares in public. So they do not sell share to the existing shareholders. They are sell shares to the public. So instead of sell by cash, they are selling for the shareholders. Yeah. Generally, shares. Generally, the parents retain a large interest in the division, so they are still only sell a part of a business division. So they will have retained a large interest in the division. So a little bit mixed of the sales and the spin-off. The reason for carve-out is the same with the spin-off, except for the parent will receive cash from a carve-out. So this is maybe a mix of a cash and the spin-off. Yeah, they will try to use something like between. Yeah, empirical evidence shows. So this is from practical. Good signal if the cash from a carve-out is used to reduce debt, and bad signal if it is used for investment. Yeah, because the potential investors see that if you have to sell some of your assets or sell some of your company, that is when you cannot do good with your company and you sell it, and if you sell it to reduce debt, that is good. If you sell it to invest in some other things, that is not really good because you do not have enough you do not have, something like you are not convinced that you can do investment in other things. Nó giống như là mình đã làm không tốt rồi thì người ta không bao giờ tin vào cái việc là mình bán cái này để làm một cái khác. Something like that. Yeah, bad signal when you use this kind of selling to invest in other things. Yeah, so that would be a bad signal. So it would be a good signal if you use the cash proceed from selling to reduce the debt. Yeah, so this is should be remembered. This is from the evidence, empirical evidence. So this is from practical. This is a practical information. Yeah, statistic. Okay, this is the uh, final slide of this lecture and also the final slide of our course. We conclude something here. For the takeover, we have three kinds: acquisition, merger and acquisition. Proxy contest. What is the proxy contest here? It occurs when a group of shareholders attempt to gain seat on the BOD. Proxy contest. Proxy is a written authorization for one shareholders to vote for the stock of another shareholders. Có nghĩa là gì? Proxy contest nó giống như là ủy quyền, đúng không? Proxy là một cái ủy quyền. Bạn, if you are a group of small shareholders, for example, 25 shareholders and small shareholders, and each one has 1%. So in total, you have 25%. It's much, much bigger in the voting right. So now, instead of individually go to vote for something, you are using the proxy, proxy to authorize one person of all of these 25 authorize one shareholders to vote for the 25%, and the voting right is much, much higher. So that is the proxy contest. Okay, so when they are need a seat on the BOD. And the other takeover, and this is the same thing. This they are still called this takeover because you are take some right in the board of director. That is the takeover. And the going private, we have already know about the going private. We turn our company from public to private. Yeah, that is the going private. And the in acquisition, we talk in the very first in our lecture about the three kind of acquisition. Already talk about it. Merger and acquisition. We have three kind of acquisition, like horizontal, vertical, and conglomerate. For acquisition of stock, we use stock to exchange our new stock for to the shareholders, and in acquisition of assets, we use cash to buy the assets. Yeah, in acquisition of stock, we use cash to buy the stock. In acquisition of assets, we use cash to buy the assets. Yeah. Okay, so that's all for the merger and acquisition, and that is all for the subject. So thank you all for all of the course. That is for so far, and we still have next week for the tutorial. And in the next week we will do like this. As I have announced in the Google Classroom, and now we will have I will announce one more time that next week we will have the tutorial online. Normally we will do the tutorial and lecture online as normal, but in the lecture we do all the lecture for the knowledge. We do all the lecture for now, and the next week lecture will be the revision lecture. So I will send you the link to submit any question you want to ask, and I will go to the online lecture next week to answer all of the question or some of the question. Yeah, I will find some of the question to, if we do not have enough time, yeah, we will try to answer some of the questions. So next week will be the revision lecture. This time next Wednesday. Okay, and the week after the next week, on the 27th, Yeah, I believe on the 27th, we will meet you all offline to do the progression test 2. So the progression test 2 will be held on 27th of May. Okay? Yeah, see you all offline. And if you are still have to do the tutorial in that week, in the week from 25 to 29, if you still have the tutorial to do, you have to do it offline. You have to go to school. Yeah. And yeah, of course, if you are finished the tutorial next week, you have to, do not have to go to school. Yeah, of course. So is there anything to, is there any question, any concern, or any confused? Ok chưa? Có một bạn gì nói 19 đến 16 ấy, tôi không hiểu cái đấy là cái gì. Có bạn nào muốn hỏi gì nữa không nào? Ok, ok, thank you.
Em hỏi.
Hỏi đi.
Cái lớp tút của mình là lớp tút ca vào chiều thứ tư vậy ạ.
Ừ.
Thì tức là tuần sau là đi học off đúng không thầy?
Không, tuần sau vẫn học online nhá.
Còn tuần sau nữa là học off.
Tuần sau nữa mới là học offline bắt buộc nhá. Ở trên cái thông báo của tôi là vẫn online bình thường cho cái tuần sau. Còn cái tuần sau nữa mà vẫn phải đi học tút, tức là có một cái tút nào bị chậm thì các bạn mới học offline nhá.
Có nghĩa là tuần sau nữa mình đi học trình đúng không thầy?
Học tuần sau nữa mới học đi offline, mới phải lên trường. Đấy là đối với môn của mình nhá. Còn các môn khác thì các bạn cứ xem cái thông báo của môn đó. Okay. Okay, goodbye. Yeah, see you. Thank you. Thank you. See you.